I have never been inside a customer's home. I have never run an in-home water test. I have never sent a sales rep to someone's door. And I have never done a 2-hour kitchen table demo. Every single water filtration system I have sold has been closed over the phone. Average ticket is around $3,000, and the close rate is strong enough that we did $60,000 in revenue in month 1. The reason I'm telling you this is because if you ask any established water filtration company how to sell a system, they will tell you that you have to go in person, that the customer needs to see the demo, that the water test builds trust, that you cannot close this ticket size remotely. I disagree. And I want to show you exactly how this phone close works, why the in-home model exists for reasons that have nothing to do with the customer's benefit, and what I actually say from the first 30 seconds of a call all the way through to closing a deal and handling the objections that come up in between. Before I get into it, if you're watching this and you are seriously thinking about building a water filtration business, the link in the description is how we partner with people directly. We take a 5% stake in your company, we build alongside you, and we get you your first client within 90 days, or we keep going until we make sure it happens. Link is in the description. Now let me walk you through exactly how this sales process works. Let me walk you through what happens when a homeowner calls a Culligan or a Connecticut today, because understanding their process is what makes everything I'm about to tell you make sense. They get your address, they schedule an in-home appointment. They tell you they need to come out and do a water test to understand what system is right for you. A rep drives to your house, they do a water test, they run a full in-home demo, and then they hard close you on the spot with manufactured urgency and a price that is somewhere between $7,000 and $12,000. If you can't afford it outright, they push financing. Now here is the thing. The water test is not a necessity. It's a sales setup. If you are on municipal city water, I can go to ewg.org right now and pull up every detail about the water coming out of your tap, where it comes from, how it's treated, what contaminants are present when it reaches your home. All of it is publicly available through the Environmental Working Group database. I do not need to send someone to your house to test water that has already been tested and reported. So when a customer asks me why I'm not coming to their home, I tell them the truth. Any company that insists on an in-home water test for municipal water is using that visit as a reason to get a sales rep in your living room, not because they need additional data. I can look at your water quality right now on this call and tell you exactly what your water has in it and exactly what my system treats for. That is not a limitation of my process. That is a feature of it. And then I frame it the way I frame everything. I am not doing the water test because not doing it saves you time, saves you money, and gets clean water into your home faster. That is how I communicate it, and that is how it lands. The first 30 seconds of every call, I do the same thing. I let the customer know immediately that I am not going to waste their time. I tell them I'm going to give them a price on this call, and I'm going to be able to answer any question that they have about their water right now, not next week after a site visit. Right now. I want to set the tone from the very first moment that there are no games here. No sales gimmicks, no manufactured urgency before I have even learned anything about their situation. No runaround. We are here to get them a quote, give them information, and help them make a decision. That is it. Then I go straight into discovery. And this is the part most people rush through, and it's a mistake. I want to know 2 things: what issues they have actually been experiencing with their water and where they are in their journey. Have they already gotten multiple quotes and been priced out of what they heard? Did they see my ad and this is the first time they have ever looked into water filtration? Are they an existing customer of a big company who's unhappy and shopping around? Those answers completely change the value proposition for that specific person. Someone who got a $9,000 quote from Culligan last month is going to respond to my price completely differently than someone who has never thought about water filtration before. I need to know who I'm talking to before I give them anything. I use ewg.org during the call. I pull up the water quality data for their specific municipality while they're on the phone. I can tell them exactly what's in their tap water right now. That moment, Walking a customer through what is actually in their water in real time does more to build trust than any in-home demo because it is not a pitch, it's data, and data does not feel like selling. When I get to the price, most customers at $26.99 are not blown away by the number. That is already the positioning working in our favor. But when there is any hesitation at all, I price anchor and do it in a way that feels natural rather than scripted or forced. I tell them that it has taken us a lot of work to get our price down to where it is, that some of our installers have come from companies like Culligan and Connecticut, where they were selling similar systems for $7,000 or more. And that to me, it just does not feel right to charge that kind of money for something as important as clean water. And then if I need a real example, I have one. I had a customer recently who sent me a quote she had received from Culligan before she found us. $6,000 for a system that did not even include reverse osmosis. We installed her whole home filtration with RO for $3,200. That's a real story, and I use it because it is true and because it lands. I don't lead with the price anchor. I drop the price first, and then only if there's hesitation do I go into the comparison. Because at $2,700, most people already feel like they're getting a good deal. I only need to reinforce when that doubt shows up. The objections I hear most are predictable and they are all handleable. The first is, I need more time. I need to think about it. I need to talk to my spouse. This one comes up constantly, and it almost always means the person is interested but has not found the thing they need to feel comfortable committing. My response is to acknowledge it, set a clear follow-up timeline, and then add a small time-sensitive incentive. Something like, I completely understand, take the time you need. What I can do is hold our install slot for you, and if you're able to let me know by the end of the day tomorrow, I can throw in an extra $100 off since we're trying to fit a few more installs this month. This is not fake urgency. We're actually running installs, and fitting people in is actually a real thing. It just gives them a reason to move rather than letting it sit indefinitely. The second is they're not familiar with the brand. A newer company with fewer reviews is a legitimate concern for a $3,000 purchase, and I respect it. My answer is to redirect to what actually matters on a water filtration system, which is certifications and not brand name. NSF certifications for the media bed, the tank, and the system components, a ceramic disc or stainless steel valve, and third-party verified performance specs. I walk them through exactly what to look for regardless of who makes the system, and then I tell them that our equipment meets every one of those standards. The brand concern fades when the customer understands that the standards are what protect them, not the logo. The third objection is pure price pushback. For this, I go straight to financing options. 12 months, 0% APR, or up to 7 years through US Bank Advance. Most people who object to $2,700 upfront are perfectly fine with a payment that fits their monthly budget. And if someone wants to negotiate a flat discount, I'll move a couple $100 if it closes the deal and they're ready to commit today. $200 off on a $1,300 margin job is not something that hurts the business, but I only do it with a condition attached. You have to be ready to sign today. I'm not discounting to give someone more time to think. I'm discounting to close a deal that is already 99% of the way there. Now, for the people who go quiet after showing real interest, the single thing that works better than anything else I have tried is a personal iPhone video, not a text, not a follow-up email, a short video recorded from my personal phone, sent from my personal number. Something like, hey Kevin, I know we chatted a couple weeks ago about the whole home filtration system, and it looks like we fell off somewhere. Just wanted to circle back. We have a couple of install slots coming up in the next few weeks, and I would love to get you on the calendar or answer any questions that might have come up since we last spoke. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. That's it, 30 seconds. Personal, direct, no pressure, and it re-engages people at a rate that no other follow-up method comes close to because nobody sends a sales FaceTime. Nobody sends a personal video from their own phone. It breaks the pattern of every other follow-up they've ever received from a business, and it gets a response. My general philosophy on follow-up is simple. Until someone tells me no directly, I assume I've just had bad timing. I keep calling, I keep texting, I use both my personal phone and my business line, and I I do not stop until I get a clear answer in either direction. Most deals close somewhere between the 7th and the 12th touch point. The ones who quit following up after the second or third attempt are leaving money on the table. So that's it. That's the full phone close process. How the call opens, how I run discovery, how I use publicly available water quality data to eliminate the in-home test objection entirely, how I price anchor when hesitation comes up, how I handle the 3 objections I see most often, and what actually brings quiet leads back when everything else stops working. The in-home model exists because it gives a sales rep the best possible environment to close an expensive deal on manufactured urgency and commission pressure. It has nothing to do with what the customer actually needs in most cases. My customers get a faster process, a transparent price, and a system that is just as good at a fraction of the cost. That is the trade-off, and I would take it every time. If you want to build a business in this space with real support behind you, the link is in the description. We partner directly with operators, we take a small stake in their company, and we get you your first client within 90 days. Next video, I'm getting into the exact pricing formula I use on every install, how I build from the cost floor up to a number that works for the customer and still generates $1,000 in profit per job, and what that math looks like at scale towards $100,000 a month. I'll see you there.